on the death world of Fenris, where the seas boil and the sky breaks with thunder and hail. A young warrior rose with a pure storm in his blood, chosen by fate, tempered by constant battle, feared by foes and adored by his pack. Hear now the grand saga of the young king, the wolf lord who hunts the stars, the fury of Russ made flesh, Ragnar Blackmane. A sky of fire and frost, where only the strong survive the night. He learned that every victory has a cost, and every weakness must be met with fight. The tribes of Asahane forged his will, their trials carved courage into bone. And even then the storms grew still, when Ragnar's spirit stood alone. Chosen by the wolf priest ancient sight, he walked the path where few return. Through fang and flame, through endless night, he proved the strength that legends earn. The canis helix roared within his veins, a beast awakened, fierce and ever wild. Yet through the agony and savage pains, he rose reborn, no longer a mere child. Ragnar, young king, the wild one, rising, blade like lightning, spirit untamed. Hear the rout behind him, voices praising, for the wolf lord's fury cannot be chained. Across the stars his saga thunders, echoed in every fallen foe he's slain. For the rout runs wild in roaring numbers, and the galaxy trembles at his name. He fought the beasts that stalked the ice, the horrors whispered in Fenris lore. He paid the blood tithe, paid the price, and earned the right to hunt once more. With Blackmane's pack at his command, he carved a path through war and flame, and every victory across the land fed the fire burning in his name. He slew the prophet of the beast, the herald of Guskull's endless war, a deed that made the howling cease and shook the stars forevermore. Yet his glory never softened him, nor pride unbalanced Ragnar's stride. For though his temper burned within, his loyalty never left his side. Ragnar, young king, the wild one, rising, blade like lightning, spirit untamed. Hear the rout behind him, voices praising, for the wolf lord's fury cannot be chained. Across the stars his saga thunders, echoed in traitors gathered in the void. And though the stars themselves was to divide, his courage never was destroyed. He fought where hope had long been lost, where even heroes feared to tread. And though his brothers paid the cost, Ragnar rose among the dead. When Russ's sons were scattered wide and the Imperium cried out in pain, he led the charge with fearless pride. A storm unleashed across the slain. No demon's whisper bent his will, no tyrant shadow dimmed his flame. For even when the night grew still, the young king roared his father's name. Through the snow, through the fire, through the death songs of the slain, he rises higher, ever higher. Storm no god can hope to tame. The sky itself bows low before him. The stars bear witness to his claim. For the Rout runs wild beside him, and the galaxy trembles at his name. Ragnar, young king, the wild one rising, blade like lightning, spirit untamed. Hear the Rout behind him, voices praising. For the wolf lord's fury cannot be chained. Across the stars his saga thunders, echoed in every fallen foe he's slain. For the Rout runs wild in roaring numbers, and the galaxy trembles at his name. By fang and frost, by oath and honor, the young king hunts forever.